We're all working on the Splice project.
Splice stands for Supporting Personalised Learning in Interactive Community Environments.
This was funded from Microsoft. Thanks, Microsoft.
We're showing our parents what school used to be like and what school is like now for us.
And we're really interested in what school could be.
We're Year 7s and 8s from 2 different schools. We're focusing on change and how it's changed in the last 50 and 25 years to how it is now. We're looking at how it was like for our grandparents to go to school and how they learned. Also how it was like for our parents and how they learned, and comparing it to how we learn now.
This is our town, Te Awamutu. We're living in the 21st century, but 100 years ago, things looked very different. It's amazing how much things have changed over that time. We wondered why things change, and we decided it's got a lot to do with human beings wanting to make life better.
People keep inventing stuff to improve the way we live, like buggies changing to cars, and board games changing to PlayStations, and gramophones changing to MP3 players.
And people are thinkers. Our thinking changes when we research old things and discover new things, like how we really can keep healthy and how we really can learn.
Once upon a time, doctors didn't know much about how human bodies really worked, and once upon a time, teachers didn't know much about how human beings really learned.
Boy, things have changed, and we're lucky because we can see all the changes right here in our town.
And we've got some questions.
Hi, I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jacob.
We're students from 2 schools in the Rosetown Learning Community.
We've been working together in task groups, and we've done some research.
We've interviewed people, checked out the museum and the internet, and that made us think.
Let's have a look at some of the things that we've discovered.
Over the past 100 years, a lot of things have changed, including our schools, which have changed quite dramatically. The way our teachers have taught and even the uniforms that we wear. Everything is different, but learning is still as important as it ever was.
Hi, I'm Alan Riley from the Te Awamutu Museum, and I'm here to tell you about schooling 50 years ago.
How were the classrooms set up 50 years ago?
The classrooms were set up so they could fit a lot more children in them. They had normally about 40 children, maybe 40 to 50 in a year 7-8 class. But that class would have been called a standard 5 and standard 6. There would have been more chalkboards, possibly around the rooms, around the wall of the classroom. And these chalkboards would have been for maybe the kids to write on, and sometimes it would have been for the teacher to write on.
100 years ago, everybody in the classroom sat in straight rows and desks like this.
They had to use ink to write and used quills as well. Handwriting was very important back then, so everything had to be perfect.
The classrooms usually had large numbers, so for up to 45 or more children wasn't a big deal.
And they used to have to sit in these very uncomfortable desks.
Mostly the students sat at their desks to do learning, and they didn't have to move around and do much group work. If they were being taught, it would be the teacher maybe getting them to write something down or copy something down from either them speaking, like dictation, or either from maybe doing some timetable copying down from things that were written on the blackboard. So there wasn't much need to actually move away from the desk.
100 years ago, students used to use chalkboards and slates.
50 years ago, we were still using chalkboards, but now we had exercise books and paper. 25 years ago, we still use chalkboards, exercise books and better quality paper.
Now, we still use exercise books, but we have whiteboards, interactive boards, computers and interactive pads.
100 years ago, we used to use chalk, nibbed pens and inkwells to write with. We didn't have very many resources, but you may have found the old globe or book.
50 years ago, we had fountain pens and inkwells. Pencils and crayons were introduced, but our teachers mainly used all our resources.
25 years ago, we still had fountain pens, but were more using ballpoint pens, crayons and pastels. We still had a wide range of resources, but our teachers were able to copy things for us as well.
Now we can use glitter, gel pens, Vivids, coloured felt pens, coloured ball points and keyboards. We had the internet, Google Earth, Encarta and Google It for finding resources.
100 years ago, teachers knew it all, or so we thought. Punishments were very severe. You would get the cane or the strap for small things such as not having perfect handwriting.
50 years ago, teachers still knew it all, and the cane and the strap went on.
25 years ago, teachers kinda knew it all. Corporal punishment was on its way out, but suspensions and detentions were getting popular.
Now, teachers can't know it all because there's too much to know. Students are responsible for their own behaviour and no one gets hit at school anymore by teachers.
100 years ago, people had to make their own things and women had to stay home and maintain their households. In schools, girls learnt sewing and boys learnt carpentry. Not many people went on to university.
50 years ago, women were expected to stay home with their families, so in school they learnt sewing and cooking. Metalwork was introduced and woodwork was encouraged for boys.
25 years ago, more women were in the workforce and not much people went to university. At school, there was home economics, metalwork and woodwork. More women were allowed to attend metalwork and woodwork as well as the boys.
Now, women work at high-powered jobs. Most people need to work at what they are interested in. So now, schools offer a wide range of technology options to set us up for the 21st century. A lot of people go to university now.
It's easy to see the changes when you look at it that way. We looked at some of the important parts of school for Year 7 and 8 students in our town, and we sorted them into 4 headings.
Specific teaching opportunities,
Programs that are offered,
physical learning opportunities,
and classroom resources.
Some groups made information slideshows to explain these in detail, and you'll find these on our project blog.
spliceproject.edublogs.org.
We're lucky. Lots of different classes are offered now because we know that people have got different needs and learning styles.
At our school, we've got a digital class, science class, shared teaching class, an accelerate class, and an all-boys class.
This is Mr. Baddock. He's the teacher of the boys only class. And how does this class work?
It's like every other class in the school, except of course it's just boys. The main idea of that is that we can all work together in one learning style, and we do a lot of exercise in our class as well, which helps us get rid of a bit of energy so we can focus on our work.
What are the reasons behind having this type of class?
A lot of it's about the way boys learn, and boys are different from girls. The research shows that the only thing that boys are better at than girls is failing. So that's the main reason. Boys drop out of school quicker than girls. They don't last in their education. They don't get as many qualifications. They don't seem to do as well at school. So a lot of it is about trying to get those boys to manage themselves. That's the big thing. If you can manage yourself and you're in charge of your own behaviour, then you can achieve anything. And then the next thing is to start thinking.
What learning benefits do your students get from being in this class?
I think there's quite a few benefits. My main focus is reading. There's got to be lots and lots of reading. It's like anything in life, you don't get good at something unless you practice it. So a lot of the boys in my class are actually good at sports or good at something to do with their hands or whatever it may be, but they haven't been practicing their reading a lot, so that's a main focus. The other big focus is mathematics in the class and getting that number going and making sure they can operate appropriately in society. So those are the two main focuses, I think.
Okay, I'm interviewing 2 boys from the boys only class. What learning benefits do you have from being in this class?
From being in the boys only class has made my maths and reading better and all the other academic skills.
And Sam?
I have improved in my sports because we go for sports very regularly and every fortnight we go to the gym, which we do circuits with Tony, our instructor.
Okay. And has your learning changed and how?
I think my learning has changed from being in a boys only class. Mr. Biddick has pushed us for doing our readings so we get better at spelling.
I've improved in my reading. I've got a better attitude about it, and I pay more attention to my work because I think I'm not distracted by girls anymore.
Thank you.
It's all about learning. The programs that are offered at our school for years 7 and 8 have changed a lot since our grandparents went to school.
Now we've got strong language programs,
Outdoor education opportunities,
art and cultural experiences,
exciting overseas experiences,
and our music program is really important to us.
Let's find out a bit more about these.
At our school, we have many music opportunities such as symphonic band, guitar, rock band and jazz band.
Why is it so important to teach music at school?
It has been proven on a number of studies that participation in music programs has a large effect on developing whole brain function, that it can develop your brain. I think it's important for time management, that it gives students an opportunity to develop their time better, to work cooperatively with other students. It's also been proven that students who engage in music programs and play an instrument especially develop and participate and succeed in other subject areas more so than those students who don't actually participate in any sort of music program.
How do you think music has changed in schools over the past 25 to 50 years?
I think there's been a focus and a move to develop programs such as our school band program, our symphonic band program, particularly at this age level. Probably those schools in the past have focused on instruments such as the recorder, and we're trying to adapt that sort of program now to engage in other types of instrument programs such as, you know, involving saxophones and percussion instruments and all those sorts of things. We're offering a broader range of music in schools, I believe.
What do you think music in schools will change, and what will it be like?
I think in some schools, and I know our school for instance, part of the class music program, we are using computer software, so students have the opportunity to compose, creating tracks and making up melodies and those kinds of things. I think the development of an appreciation of music as well as learning to play a variety of instruments. I actually think music is extremely important for students and for people as adults to learn to appreciate music, to go along and listen to various music concerts and to participate and engage in actually playing an instrument and playing in a group as well. I think it's important.
3, 4.